And welcome, folks, to episode 51 of the Ministry of Dice podcast. We're a UK-based podcast talking about all things Dice Masters in the United Kingdom. I'm Chris, otherwise known as True Mr. Six, and with me today I have Andy.
A.K.A. The Never-Ending Story.
That's so random.
No, that's for Stewie Poos. He'll know.
He'll know. Okay. I was expecting something birthday related because this is our 2-year anniversary special.
It's a birthday. Let's party like it's your birthday.
That really didn't work as well as the other thing, did it?
No. We've got your kazoo to hand.
Oh, where's the kazoo? Hang on. What do you want? I can... Tambourine?
Nice.
Got the little the drum for Chinese New Year. Where's the maraca? Oh, what's this?
Right.
Oh, hang on, found it.
Well, that was an anticlimax, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, it's our 2-year anniversary special. 2 years, man. Almost to the day, in fact.
I know, right? It's weird. I shared the little post that we put up with.
I saw,
something exciting coming.
Yes, I saw that today, earlier on Facebook.
That's 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah. Unbelievable that we've been ploughing this field for 2 years, isn't it?
I know. Well, we know we're the longest running Dice Masters podcast, aren't we?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Hi, Isaac. You all right?
Yes. Good evening, Isaac. Yeah, so here we are for our 2-year anniversary special. Normal programming will resume on our next episode. However, this one we've got loads and loads and loads of birthday celebration awesomeness for you, dear listeners. So have we actually got any Dice Masters content at all planned?
We have got many guests on this show. However, one such guest that we talked to does have some Dice Masters related information.
Yes, that's right, because
yes.
not only have we got all the celebratory activity and all the the plaudits and accolades and attention coming our way, but we've actually got a little present on our 2-year anniversary to give to you listeners.
That's right. It's a biggie as well. And say little present. It's a cracker.
It is a cracker, yeah. So loads going on in this episode. Are we doing the usual intro-y stuff, or are we just going to get into the fun stuff?
Yeah, let's do the intro stuff. It's what people like, I'm sure.
Okay, well, what have you been up to for the last 2 weeks since we last recorded?
Well, I flew out to Canada.
Oh, sure, yeah, that's right.
Canada Nats.
And how did that go?
Time. Well, it went better than expected.
Oh, really?
After my debacle in the US, I had the same plan. So I had my cloned passport.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Went over there.
Yeah.
I cloned Laurier's passport.
Oh, good choice. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I had to enter the country as Laurier. Entered the competition as Laurier.
Right.
Won the competition as Laurier.
Oh, my
I'm
word.
now Canada National Champion 2019.
Oh, well, congratulations. That deserves a round of applause.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Did nobody recognise you?
No. Well, I suppose it's because we did the podcast, don't we? Not many people see my face.
Right. And so did you put on a voice?
A boot.
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That was good. That was quite authentic. Did you apologise a lot?
Yeah. I'm sorry, a boot.
Well, congratulations on your Canadian Nationals win.
Well, it was good, but I did play a really spammy team, so I don't think that the credit should be all there.
Well, I suppose whatever you have to do to win. If winning a national tournament is that important to you, then that's what you're going to have to do. It's like
win's a win.
Yeah, it's like back in the days of Bard, isn't it?
To quote my man Peter van der Velde.
Yeah.
I didn't go there to make friends. I went there to win.
Yeah. Did you get up to anything else under your assumed identity?
Nothing that I could speak about in public.
Okay, sure. But Laurier can maybe expect a knock on the door imminently.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll enjoy those magazine subscriptions I organised for him. So, yeah, okay. Anyway, Canadian Nationals. Anything else in the last 2 weeks? I suppose that probably filled up the best part of your time, did it?
Yeah, it did take up a lot of time. Other than that, just the games with you. Oh, got a cunning idea for UK Nats.
Oh, right.
That I've been working on.
Okay.
Won't go on it too much else. It'd be a little bit cryptic, but Might be something, might not be something. Bit of practice will tell.
Oh, you're talking about your team?
Yes. What did you think I was talking about? Like, how I was gonna get
I
there?
don't know. Actually, at UK Nats, you had a really cunning idea. Something like an epic prank or something you were going to pull off.
Poison the water so that I'm the only one left standing.
Well, as you'll hear later, that we have an aim, a goal, a target for UK Nats if we ever actually get a date for it.
What?
In our interview later on, we discuss a particular challenge around UK Nats.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that bit.
Yeah. So stay tuned to hear what that one is. On the subject of Canada Nationals, as a matter of fact, our man on the ground, Ben Scott, captured some audio for us on the day, and we'll be doing a Canadian Nationals coverage piece in our next episode, in episode 52. So be sure to come back in 2 weeks' time for that.
Yeah, next episode, because our birthday's more important than the national championship coverage, isn't it?
Yes, although less professional, apparently.
I don't think we've ever been called professional. What's that now?
Yeah, exactly. Not once. Not even in my job am I called professional.
I've been called a lot of things in my job, but not professional.
Well, you will work those night jobs in those strange locations.
Back alleys.
Yeah, it's bound to attract some strange folk with some interesting vocabulary.
Don't know where you're going with that, but what have you been up to the last couple of weeks?
So let me think now. So down at Element Games, we've been playing an exclusion league. So each week, the top winning team gets eliminated.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was quite fun. So we eliminated a couple of teams worth of cards just last night, and then for the coming weeks we'll be doing the same. With the fam, I picked up a new game that kind of caught my eye called Dice Throne.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen something about that on the Facebook.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. So it was a Kickstarter. It's into its season 2. I've kind of had my eye on it for a while, but it's quite expensive just to kind of buy outright and find out that you don't like it,
Right.
But it's a 2-player game, which is why it's caught my eye, because obviously me and the hashtag competitive wife are into 2-player games, but they've done this kind of 2-player like mini pack.
Okay.
With just two of the characters in out of the main set to give a try, and it's actually pretty good. It's a little bit Dice Mastersy actually.
Really?
Yeah. So we'll give it another couple of tries and see if it sticks, and if it does, I might fork out for the full game.
Well, that's quite cool. I'll have to have a look into that.
Yeah, and then me and the kids played a bit of Batman Love Letter the other day.
Cool. I like Love Letter.
Yeah, it's a belter of a game, isn't it? And the kids are just kind of getting old enough now to sort of understand some of the subtleties of some of the strategy around it as well. So it's a bit more of an actual game rather than just throwing cards down randomly.
Cool beans. Oh.
Yeah. Still got this cough. Still on my chest, mate.
Dear, that's not right.
Yeah,
you need to get yourself some Benelin.
Yeah, I need something to take it off the chest for sure. Yeah, so that's my last 2 weeks. I don't think there was anything else. If there was, it was probably just probably a bit of Pass the Panda. I think we had Pass the Pandas out. I don't know. We play games all the time. I can't keep track of this stuff.
No probs. Cool. Let's get into the juicy content. Let's tell them what we've got going on, because there's loads of cool stuff this episode.
There is loads of cool stuff. So I suppose the first thing to point out is that those who entered our raffle, today is the day that we draw and announce the winners. So you'll be listening intently. I'm sure there's many people who've got their eye on that coveted Ministry of Dice wooden spoon. So we'll get the draw done and announce the winners in this very episode. That's very exciting. Then what's next?
What is next? Depends what order we do it in. I'm not sure if we've really worked it out then. We've got my present to you.
Oh, yeah, very excited, although my present's fallen through. But I've told you in advance that my present's fallen through, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Long and short of that, folks, if anyone's interested. In order to get a Wikipedia page, simply existing is not sufficient.
You have to have references from credible sources.
Absolutely. Your existence must be witnessed and verified from a third-party source. However, not a third-party source, like the ones that verify us. No, you have to basically have an international newspaper write about you before they're even convinced that you're worth putting into their open source democratic encyclopedia.
But we're working on it. Watch this space.
However, Andy, you've got your present for me today, so even though mine fell through, well, I'm very excited to see what you've got there for me. We've got the award ceremony.
Very prestigious. Put on your bow tie and tuxedo.
Yes, absolutely. Get your glad rags on. Make your way down the red carpet. It's time for the MoDPAFOPCs.
Well done.
No, not well done. I think I missed a letter out. It's time for the MoDPAFTOP. No, I did get it right. Yes! Clap again. I got it, yeah.
Edit out that little bit and then you'll
Yeah, I'll just make it, yeah. Very exciting. We've got the Ministry of Dice Presents Awards for its own...
podcasting content.
Yeah. I think I've missed the C out. All right, anyway, it's the Ministry of Dice Award thing. And we've asked along some very special guests to present those awards, but also it serves as a kind of a little look back, I suppose. More importantly, a little bit of a look back at some of the content and some of the highlights from the Ministry of Dice over the last 2 years.
No, it's good. I've listened to quite a few episodes, just trawling through for little clippets, and a bit of nostalgia going back. Listen to our first episode. What a couple of bimbling idiots we were then. Not that we've changed that at all.
Yeah, I'm about to say, how is that any different?
Just not proving the point. The first episode, it took us half an hour before you could get that first little intro out.
Oh, were you listening to the raw? You were listening to the raw audio, were you? Not just the completed episode?
No, the completed episodes. We say it. You're like, oh, thank God I did that. Right, took me half an hour.
Now I smashed that bad boy out like nobody's business. Hello and welcome, folks. Just like,
bang,
locked in, bedded in. Yeah. It'll serve as a nice little look back over the last 2 years at some of the highlights from the Ministry of Dice. Then we have a very special guest appearance.
Very special indeed.
Are we going to point out to folks who it is now? We should do it now, shouldn't we?
Keep them interested.
Yeah, absolutely. So they listen through to the end. So we have Jimmy from Wizkid has come on, and he's come to have a conversation with us about the upcoming Worlds Dice Masters Worlds event that's taking place at Gracelands in Memphis. So a really interesting segment there. We got an opportunity to ask Jimmy a few questions about some of the stuff that will be going on. He gave us a little bit more details and information about some of the bits and bats that are involved in that event there. So a special treat from us to you. We basically gaffer taped into a chair and forced him to have a conversation with us.
Yeah, and I'm very jealous. Very jealous. That Wizkid's Weekender sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's just so prohibitive for us over here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but UK listeners, in spite of it being about Worlds, and the likelihood is that many of us will not be able to attend that. Just the flights alone are nearly $1,000. We do discuss a little bit about UK Nats, probably not as much as we would have liked or you would have liked, but Jimmy sets us a very interesting challenge. So stick around for that at the very least. And then we've got some listener correspondence. Yeah. We do indeed. And that will bring us to the conclusion of our 2-year anniversary celebration.
It's a good episode.
Yeah, we hope you enjoy it. I suppose we'll say thank you so very much for being along on this crazy ride. As I explained on Facebook the other day, we're just 2 man-children playing about. It seems to me that a lot of you like to listen to 2 man-children play out, so our grateful thanks.
What does it say about you listeners, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Who's the fool?
I'd like to say a big thank you to Jocelyn for our presents.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So Jocelyn has very generously sent us over a couple of handmade dice bags, but she's customised them with the Ministry of Dice symbol at the base of the dice bag. She sent me a DC one because she knows I'm a DC fan, and we've got a Marvel one for Andy. If anyone's interested in I know you've not seen yours yet, mate, because it's still up here with me in Manchester, but it's really well made.
It does look very nice. Very nice.
Lovely, yeah. Great choice of DC characters. It's a nice classic Justice League artwork on there for me. But Jocelyn's Etsy store, where she makes these dice bags, if anyone's interested. I'll be using mine on the stream this evening also. Is called Joss Stitch, as in Joce, Jocelyn. and then Stitch spelt Stitch.
Ah, clever.
Yeah, like it. And she ships worldwide. So if you like the look of the dice bag I'm using on the YouTube stream, which will have gone out last Wednesday as of you listening to this, then please go take a look at Jocelyn's stuff. But yeah, thank you very much, Jocelyn. And I'm not going to read it out, but the message in the card was lovely too.
Read it.
No.
Read it.
No.
Okay.
No, don't want to embarrass her.
Oh, okay. I can't remember what it says.
Well, you see, the thing is, it's not fair on Jocelyn because there is clearly a kind of a bit of a sort of sexual attraction undertone towards me. And reading it on the page is one thing, but to read it out aloud, it'll get a little bit kind of 50 Shades of Grey audio book, and it's just not right to do that.
My mum would be well pissed.
Exactly, yeah, and then it'd just be dangerous, and then your mum will be out to Canada hunting Jocelyn down, and it'll be a thing. So, but thank you very much, Jocelyn. We really appreciate your thoughts. Yeah. Right, let's get on with the show, shall we?
Nah, let's talk randomly for half an hour. Bin the rest off and just end the podcast.
We can't. We're due to start the stream in a very short amount of time. We need to.
Oh, it is quite a short amount of time, isn't it?
Yeah. We need to crack on. I would happily see.
Get rid of the games. I need to get back to trawling through our previous episodes and put together the award ceremony that we've not recorded yet, because that's going to be a mish. You better appreciate how good that sounds, or if it sounds bad, that's because it was really hard work. Either way, enjoy it.
I like what you're doing with the expectation game there. Yeah, either way, enjoy it. Right, well, without further ado, then let's get into the content. All right, then, ladies and gents, more 2-year anniversary hootenanny celebrations for you all. Oh, that means now I'm going to have to put this segment in after the other segment, doesn't it?
We'll see.
Yeah, and now's the time for us to announce the Ministry of Dice raffle winners. Woo! Exciting times.
Yes.
Yeah,
a good raffle.
We do love a good raffle at the MOD. I think it's a fine British tradition, raffling.
Yeah, a tombola.
Tombola, yeah. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I put the post up on Facebook. We were looking for some kind and generous support from the listeners to help us out with some of our subscription renewals as the 2nd year anniversary came up. So did all the reminder emails. But, we don't like to just put our hand out. So we decided to run a fundraising raffle with a range of prizes, the least of which is the Ministry of Dice accessory pack, but the best of which, although that's arguable, really, based on the response, is the Alt Art Alex Ross Hulk Green Goliath, my very own, right out my binder. It's still in there. It's never left it since I acquired it.
I don't think there's that many of them around.
No, I'm not sure that there is. Yeah. So the total prize count, we've got the Ministry of Dice, to start at the bottom, in fact, we've got the autographed Common Cape Bishop and the Ministry of Dice Wooden Spoon. We have a Ministry of Dice accessory pack, which includes the 5-turn dice. It includes the basic action indicator cards and the tokens, the general use tokens, for whatever you may choose to use them for. We have a Super Spies promo set, a Stark Industries promo set. Our friend Stuart also produced some Ministry of Dice themed alt art cards. So we've got an Iron Fist, a Deadpool, and a Strahd. Although hopefully you will notice the small print. There's no dice with the Iron Fist and the Strahd, just to be very clear. Then as the raffle ticket sales increased and more people were pitching in, getting involved, I decided to throw a bonus wooden spoon into the mix. So there's 2 of the Ministry of Dice wooden spoons. And also because it seemed to be the one that everybody was most interested in winning.
2 wooden spoons?
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about.
Showering them with gifts.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have an Excel little sexy spreadsheet thing where I have allocated each individual. Oh, you could buy multiple tickets as well. I should let that be known just in case someone comes up twice now. So I've allocated everybody ticket numbers, and then I've downloaded a random number generator app on my phone. It's called Pretty Random, if anyone's interested in. I don't know,
random number generator apps.
Yeah, it's covered in adverts though. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fire off the numbers, check against the raffle tickets, and announce the winners.
Cool. So what's the first prize that we're gonna?
So the first one on the list here is the autographed Common Cape Bishop and the wooden spoon.
All together.
Yeah, the first prize was like a combo. Was it? Oh, actually, I better check the original post. I thought it was. On the notes I've made for this segment.
Have I got to sign it?
Yeah, we've not done the signing yet. Shh.
Okay. Okay.
Let me just check. A common Kate Bishop, signed, autographed by the MOD, and a coveted Ministry of Dice wooden spoon. Yeah, it's a two for this one. So here we go. I'm going to hit randomise. You ready? Drum roll, please. And it's number 41. Let's scroll down on my chart and... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Is it me?
No, it's not you.
Okay.
He's going to be very pleased, but I'm not pleased about it. It's Ryan Slater from Chris and Rob's Game Room.
Crikey, imagine where that spoon's going to go.
Yeah, it horrifies me to think he really wanted the wooden spoon as well, so he'd be well chuffed.
Get him a pot of Vaseline to go with it.
I'm less enamoured by that, but okay. Well, there you go. So congratulations,
Congratulations.
Ryan.
Thank you.
Autograph up a common Kate Bishop and a wooden spoon. PM me your postal address, and I'll get that out into the post to you in the next few days. Right, on to the Ministry of Dice accessory pack then. I'm hitting randomise. Drum roll, please. And we have number 85. Here we go. Scrolling down to number 85, and the winner is Andrew May. Well done, Andrew. Congratulations. So, Andy, again, PM us at the Ministry of Dice Facebook page or hit the contact us button on BritRoller6.com blog. Let us know your postal address and we'll make arrangements to get that out to you. Right then, next.
We're lucking out on postage costs so far, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, these are both US based. Oh, is Andy in the US? Yeah, he's US.
Yes.
Andy May, yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, it is. It is what it is, I suppose. Here we go then. So on to the Super Spies promo set. Hitting randomise now. And we have... Oh, it's another 89. Let's have a look. And that is Oliver James.
Oh.
Well done, Oliver. Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, so again, PM us. Let us know your postal address. We'll get that out to you. I think Oliver's a UK guy, actually.
Yeah, I think I played him in Phonats.
Is it? Yeah, with the collector team?
Yes, yeah.
Was that Oliver?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I hope so. Otherwise, that's very embarrassing for you.
Yeah, true.
Well, actually, now I think about it, it's embarrassing for both of us because I joined your call and had a natter with him. However, I'd already opened the wine by that point, so...
Swift editing.
Yeah, we'll just take that out. Moving on swiftly, the Stark Industries promo set. I'm going to hit randomise. Here we go. And we have number 21. So I'll scroll up on my chart. Number 21 is... Oh, that's lovely. It's Duncan.
Hey.
Well, that's going to save me. So Duncan's a local player to me in Stockport, so I'll drop that off with him at our next Tuesday night get-together. Thank you very much, Duncan, for your contribution, and I'll bring that along on Tuesday night. Okay, now into the Stuart stuff. So we're on... the first one out is the Iron Fist. I'm going to hit randomise. And we have number 53. 53, come on down. Where are you? Oh, 53 is Arch.
Oh, congratulations, Arch. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I may even already have Arch's postal address, actually, because I've sent him some stuff, I think, in the past. But just to be on the safe side, Arch.
What kind of things have you sent him?
You know, just stuff to well wish him on the Rolling Thunder journey, like packaged dog feces and...
Notes, where you've cut them out of the newspaper.
Cut the letters out of the newspaper. The MOD are better, stuff like that. It's all sent with love.
Get that.
It's all sent with love. Yeah. A couple of times I sent just random notes saying Lucan's better.
That's true, though.
Yeah. Or we love El Segundo. I think that was the one that gave it away, actually, to be fair. So yeah, that was Arj at number 53. Okay, next up is the Stuart Deadpool. I'm hitting randomise. And we have 32. 32, come on down. Who have we got? Oh, it's Alex. Alex Dickerson.
Oh, congratulations, Alex.
We've met Alex a couple of times. He's come along to our MOD PDMs. Thank you very much for your contribution and your entry there, Alex. You've won the... which one did I say? It was the Deadpool I've just done, isn't it?
Yeah, Deadpool.
So drop us a note with your postal address. We'll get that sorted out for you. I'm going to keep this trader rolling because it can be very, very boring otherwise. We've got the Stuart Strad, and I'm going to hit randomise. Here we go. And we have 63. Let's have a look. 63. Jordo! Thank you, Matthew, for entering and your contribution to the Ministry of Dice cause. You have the Stuart Alternative Strad card. I've definitely got Matt's postal address, so I'll get that out to you, Matthew. Although, again, that's another international... Oh dear. Right, now moving on to the biggie, we've got the Hulk Green Goliath, the Hulk Green Goliath.
A bit of a build up.
Yeah, all right. And that's not right though. That's kind of like a competitive thing, isn't it? What's a good? Right, here we go. I'm hitting randomise. And we have number 79. Who's number 79? Let's have a look. It's Brian Livitt.
Congratulations, Brian Livitt.
Yeah, congratulations, Brian. So, Brian, PM us at the Facebook page. Let us know. I'm not sure where Brian is. Is Brian a UK guy?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure I've ever spoken to Brian.
No.
However, if you are looking for a Hulk alternate art Green Goliath, hit up Brian because he's got one now.
He has indeed, yeah.
So
okay.
Soon.
But now, the moment of truth. It's time for the bonus wooden spoon.
Bonus wooden spoon.
Bonus wooden spoon. So here we go. I'm hitting randomise. And we have number 24. 24. Duncan was... What was Duncan? He was 21. But no, it's not Duncan again. It's Zach Pope from James and Zach Play Dice Masters.
Oh, congratulations, Zach.
Yeah, well done, Zach. Yeah, great, excellent. Once again, Zach, and to all of you, thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you.
Get your postal addresses over to us. We'll send those out. There may be other random things going in the envelope, but probably better than what I send Arj.
No more dog feces. So nicely put.
Yes, I have a way with the words.
Feces is a weird word, isn't it?
Feces. Yeah.
It's not nice.
I was pausing for a minute to dive into the filing cabinet of my brain to see if there was a little known fact for the listeners that I know about feces.
I think you said feces too many times on one podcast. This is our celebration podcast.
Yes, it is. Let's move away from the feces. Congratulations to all our raffle winners. Thank you so very much for entering. Our commiserations to those who bought tickets and have not won anything today. But we thank you so very much from the bottom of our heart for helping us out and keeping the lights on, as Ryan would say. We are really just super grateful. It was overwhelming. We thought maybe we'd get a couple of quid just to keep us ticking over. And you guys have most definitely helped us secure another year of Ministry of Dice stuff.
Ministry of Dice stuff.
Yeah, Ministry of Dice stuff. Well, I say that because we've got the Brit Roller 6 blog, we've got the podcast, obviously, there's the YouTube stuff, although that, it doesn't come with the cost of YouTube. And all the bits.
Yeah, anyway.
No, not yet, true. Although, hashtag catch the cookers, guys.
Yeah, don't forget, that's been stagnant for a while. 62 we're stuck at.
Yeah, there's been a few weeks at 62, so, why not console yourself if you've not won a prize by heading on over to our YouTube channel and hitting the like and subscribe. Maybe watch a couple to cheer yourself up. But if you did win today, why not head on over to the YouTube channel and celebrate by watching me defeat Andy?
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Occasionally. not when it counts.
Okay, moving on to the next segment. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Andy, my man, you won't believe who's written to us here at BritRoller6.com Towers.
Who? Alan Silvestri.
Well, that joke might not make sense depending on how we edit.
Was it John Williams?
John Williams, yeah. No, shall I read it to you? It'll become very apparent when I start to read it to you who's written into us.
Yeah, go for it.
Perhaps our biggest fan, in fact. Yeah. So here we go.
Sloan.
No, even more prestigious fan than that. No offence intended, Mark.
There is no one more prestigious than Mark Sloan.
Sure. Okay, but you'll understand. Let me get. I'll read it to you and.
Okay, cool.
So, dear Chris and Andy, one is overjoyed to be once again writing to the finest of our nation's ministries in the celebration of yet another landmark achievement. Happy second birthday. One always enjoyed the podcast through your first year, but now one has the pleasure of your Wednesday night live game streams on YouTube. It could not have arrived at a more auspicious time, what with the Game of Thrones finale and the long wait for Season 3 of The Crown, leaving a large gap in the royal schedule. Many a Wednesday have Philip and I settled down in Buckingham Palace's viewing room with a glass of limoncello and the corgis snoozing on the rug at our feet, learning the ways of winning weekly with direct damage and discussing how Andrew's best days are clearly behind him.
Bloody rude.
It is particularly useful as an educational experience. We often watch to tutor the grandchildren on the use of the Anglo-Saxon and to become accustomed to the understanding of accents from commoners, ready for the day that they may rule the realm. I would be remiss not to mention the great guests on the podcast too. The Ministry of Dice are true ambassadors to the realm and have done more real work to maintain relations with the colonies and Europe than any other ministry in our government. You are to be commended as outstanding ambassadors for the Commonwealth, and may you continue to be members of the world community despite whatever foolish decisions are made by members of our own Parliament. Incidentally, one's master of the household has had a romping good time running that El Segundo chap's Mr. Fix-It list against the Chamberlain's Awaken team, although now the Chamberlain is somewhat distraught at the decision to nerf Energy Fields Global. I look forward to writing once again in 2020 to congratulate you on a third year. Continue as you are, and an OBE will inevitably be awarded. I have some sway with the committee, don't you know? Tinkety tonk old fruits and down with the Brexit party. Yours sincerely, Her Royal Highness, Queen Elizabeth II.
Ooh, isn't that nice?
Yeah, very thoughtful. Thank you, Lizzie. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's probably got the most Dice Masters content in all of the segments in the episode.
Well, she's on top of the game. I don't know what to tell you, Mum.
Is she going to be at Nats?
Well, she out in Worlds.
Yeah, coming to Graceland. Royal Highness. Down a smash face with Iceman.
Yeah. Win it for us, please, Mum.
Live from the Bridwater Six Towers, inaugural Ministry of Dice Awards ceremony for their own content. Take your seats, folks, for an exciting extravaganza. And here's your host, the true Mr. Six himself, Chris Williams, and Andy, a.k.a. the other guy.
Yes, welcome, folks. It's the Ministry of Dice Presents Awards for its own podcast content here today. It's the first one ever, folks, but hopefully an institution, an event of the year that you'll all be eager to tune into. We have collated the data from the survey, passed it along to PricewaterhouseCoopers, who then created the shortlist and put it in front of the committee, who sweated for weeks. They debated, they discussed, they argued over that shortlist. And now today we have, for your listening pleasure, the 4 shortlisted nominees and the announcement of the winners for the MoDPAFOPC thing 2019. So our first award of the evening is the most informative suggestion or card recommendation from the Ministry of Dice. And here to present the award we have Reg from Dice Masters in the Great White North.
For those that don't know my voice, I'm Reg from Dice Masters in the Great North. Congrats to Andy and Chris for all you do for the community. Thank you for letting me be a part of your award show. The Ministry of Dice is a podcast from a pair of accomplished players. And they do have a member, Andy, that even went to Worlds, you know. So listeners undoubtedly tune into this podcast for the vast and deep knowledge of the game for tips and ideas to enhance their team building experience from this duo. Here are the nominees for most informative suggestion, card recommendation, or combo idea from the Ministry of Dice. Common Kate Bishop and her untapped potential.
Yeah, Banhammer, Common Kate Bishop needs gone. It's overpowered.
It's just ridiculous.
Kingpin. Any rarity is overlooked.
All right, well, do you know Kingpin used to churn dice?
Did he?
Yeah, he used to move sidekicks from the news pile to your prep area when he took damage.
Shriek is the worst card in the game.
There was a point in the night where I was getting a bit salty about Shriek, I'll happily admit it. And one of our regular players, Duncan, who will be pleased to hear his name mentioned on the podcast.
Hi, Duncan.
Hi, Duncan. Yeah, he said, put your hand up if you've bought Shriek in your first turn. And all 5 of them put their hand up. They bought Shriek in their first turn. And I just had a really rough time of it with that card. She's not healthy for the game at all.
Batarang for whacking that annoying villain control.
And that was it. Game over, really. And I tried to Batarang the big guy, but I just couldn't quite get the Batarangs and the bolts together.
Those, yeah.
So Spug did that on the Friday, yeah.
And the winner is... Shriek is the worst card in the game.
And here to accept the award... Well, I think I'm going to accept this one myself, shall I? Playing this one. Yeah, Shriek. Yeah, Shriek absolutely is the worst card in the game. I'd like to thank all those principled players the world over who have seen the light and joined the Church of True Mr. Six, which has a very limited membership criteria. But one membership criteria above all else is that you shall not play Shriek, regardless of your blanking needs, regardless of how competitive the meta gets. It is simply the worst card in the game and should not exist. So I accept this award for all those principled players out there and wave it like a shame bell towards those unprincipled players who buy it in their first turn. Thank you very much. Our next award of the evening is the Best Little Known Fact. And here to present the award, we have superfan Mike Ingledew. Ingledew. Not sharing his menu for dinner this evening.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. This podcast is so much more than just Dice Masters chat. It's informative. Whether it's mining the depths of Chris's encyclopedic knowledge of trivial facts, or life lessons from Andy's past experiences. There's always something new to learn. Here are the nominees for Best Little Known Fact or Random Patented Tangent. Number 1, Paula's Dead Tangent.
There are people now, there's a conspiracy theory that the Paul McCartney we now know, who's out and about touring, recording new albums, he's just had something out recently, painting, eating vegetarian food, all that good stuff, is actually an imposter by the name of William Shears, who was
detailed,
was a Beatles lookalike competition winner that the Beatles management and recording company found and replaced Paul with because they were such a lucrative band they couldn't take the risk of Paul's death interrupting album sales.
Number 2, Andy was the original Tinky Winky actor.
So, little known fact for the listeners, Andy actually, in his youth, had a promising career as an actor, and for a short period of time, for a season back in 1999, actually inhabited the Tinky Winky outfit on Teletubbies.
I didn't know you knew that.
I did know that. I also knew that it all came crashing down over that Nunu scandal that you've yet to actually talk about in public, but we'll move past that because I believe you and the cast are keeping that under wraps. I'm sure there'll be a tell-all autobiography on its way.
3. Chris is a multi-instrumentalist and was in Blazing Squad.
It is a little known fact that Chris is already famous before he became Brit Roller 6. He was the founding member and main songwriter for the 90s superstar band Blazing Squad.
and multi-instrumentalist.
And multi-instrumentalist, yeah.
Yeah. Blazing Squad. God, that takes me back. Those were some days, mate. Those were some days.
4. Andy was an influence for M. Night Shyamalan.
There's a live-action film as well, isn't there?
Yeah, I don't think that's so good. That's M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
Yeah, sure. Little known fact for the listeners, actually. I don't know if they know this, but Andy, I've mentioned before, has had a long-standing career as an actor and in various roles on film sets through the years. And M. Night Shyamalan actually used Andy as the stand-in for Bruce Willis in Unbreakable, as the standing in the rain with the rain mac. You remember doing that, mate?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's because Bruce Willis, of course, didn't want to get his hair wet. So Andy was the official Bruce Willis hair wet replacement. So any scene that involved water, you stood in for Brucey.
It's true. Do you know the bit in the village where she bunks over the wall when the car goes past and they're not actually in the past?
Yes.
That was my idea. I went, Shyamalan, I've got an idea. He went, Mandy? He used to call me Mandy. That was brilliant.
And the winner is... These envelopes are so hard to open. Just get it open. Andy was an influence for M. Night Shyamalan. Congratulations, Andy.
Thank you very much for this awards. My life has been long and varied. My time in America, in Hollywood, has set me up for the future that I've had and will have in the future, future-wise and future again. So I'd just like to say thank you, and I appreciate that you like hearing about my past experiences. Hopefully at some point I can win more awards.
And here to present the award for the best Ministry of Ice guest, we have superfan Chris Clubb.
Despite their egomaniacal, attention-seeking behavior, the MOD can be quite generous in their airtime and endeavor to invite guests onto their podcasts to bring different perspectives, share ideas from around the community, and of course, face the gauntlet that is the bar. The nominees for Best Guest Appearance are Jimmy.
There'd be a lot of interest worldwide in a Ministry of Dice team pack, and there's not much happening with that. I just wanted to sort of touch base. What are your thoughts on the MOD team pack?
I mean, as Dice Masters players are often aware, there are delays or something that we can experience. And the Ministry of Dice team pack is no different, right? Sometimes the licensor gets in the way. Sometimes there's trouble in China. Who knows what could be keeping this held up for right now.
Ben said Scott.
So next time, Ben, be sure to bring along...
And no, I don't drink tea.
You don't drink tea?
No, all coffee. I know, it's very weird.
Well, in some respects, it's a good thing you're about to emigrate out of the country, because we might just have had to have run you out.
Rip Thunderstone.
So you ping him, ping, and you're dead.
Right, okay. Not the Hellfire Club one. I can't even remember what was
that. That is the one with the Hellfire Club. You ping him with magic missile, you make him a big attack, like super big, like a big cheeseburger big, and then you set Hellfire Club off, and everything goes like a deal of the century from one of my sponsors.
And of course, DM Armada.
It's like, I have a great English accent, but there is no way I will do an English accent for someone from the UK because I just don't want to embarrass myself. When the rubber meets the road, it's not good enough.
And without further ado, the winner is the current Canadian national champion, Ben said Scott.
And here to accept the award, we have Ben Scott himself.
Wow, guys, what an honour. I can't believe I was even nominated as best guest, let alone actually won. I mean, I'm not that honoured, because if I was that honoured, I'd be there with you today, but I'm slightly honoured. It's probably, the 19th best thing I've achieved in Dice Masters, so thank you, really, really thank you.
congratulations to Ben, and now on to our next award of the evening. We are here now to present the Outstanding Contribution, and Mississauga's finest, Jocelyn Bowmeister, is here to present the award.
This can't all be about the MOD, of course. Such a prestigious occasion as the MOD PAF TOPs should acknowledge the great stuff that others do for the community too. So, the nominees for Outstanding Contribution to the Dice Masters community go to Paul Kushner.
So as soon as one player has stated that they are ending their turn, the next player is the active player. If the previous person had said they were ending their turn, then the person who was about to start their turn would be the active player, and they would be turn 0.
So basically, no matter which way that happens, Andy's wrong, right?
That's quite likely.
The MOD.
Hello and welcome everybody. This is Chris here, the True Mr. 6, writer and editor on the BritRoller 6 WordPress blog, and welcome to our first pilot episode. And joining me today to get this podcast started, we have the one, the only, Andy England, otherwise known as Andy E. That's an inventive internet handle there, Chief. The UK 2017 National Dice Masters Champion.
Arj O'Neill.
Rolling Thunder. Yeah, it's funny. We were batting around titles before, and we decided that. And then after I bought, the website name, my wife was like, Rolling Thunder?
You mean like a fart?
Brilliant.
And Rip Thunderstone.
Like when the Patriots take on the Rams, man. I love American football. I call it football, not American football, because I'm American.
And the winner is Rip Thunderstone. Congratulations, Rip.
And so here to accept the award is Rip Thunderstone himself.
Thank you very much. I'd like to say this was a surprise, but looking at the other guys that were nominated, I was clearly head and shoulders above the others for my contributions to the community and for the game of Dice Masters itself. It all started way back in 1972. Myself, Eric Lang, Mike Elliott, and Whoopi Goldberg were all sent to gaming prison for a crime we didn't commit. We promptly escaped from that maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. And wanted by the government, we survived as game designers of fortune. We were a crack team of game designers at that time, and we were covertly responsible for the likes of Pass the Pigs and Yahtzee. One day I had an idea. I had an epiphany, if you will. Even an epiphany. I saw small dice with icons and statistics coupled with cards with abilities and powers. I called it Card Masters. It was going to be big. I told my man Eric, and then lo and behold, 40 years later, him and Mike, the trader, released Dice Masters, and the game is what we have today. I thank you for this award and for finally the appreciation behind my creation of the whole game.
Thank you, Rip, and congratulations. Our next award is the Best Ministry of Dice podcast episode segment. And here to present the award, we have the figurehead of Dice Masters in the Netherlands, Peter van der Velde himself.
Hello, everyone. It somehow seemed appropriate to do this while mildly intoxicated. MOD is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Every 2 weeks it's another lottery, and we find out if the latest episode brings us great highs or spectacular lows. Now, I admire Chris and Andy for having the balls to put out those lows. But we're here to celebrate the highs, and in particular, the occasional winner of a segment these gents have come up with. So, without further ado, it is my great pleasure to announce the nominees for Best Segment. First, MOD Countdown, 30 Euphemisms.
Yeah.
This next one's great. Bullseye, peanut projectile.
Yes.
Cheetah, some manner of monster.
Yeah.
Flying car, buckle up.
Second, The Bar.
So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to my partner in crime, who's going to get us going into some quiz action.
Okay, should we put the theme tune in?
Yeah, let's put it in now.
Oh, now?
Yeah, about now.
No.
No, I'll tell you what, let's do it now.
Okay.
The third global reverse collation, aka let's trick our loyal listeners into saying that Andy England is the greatest Dice Masters player.
So this is my version. Parallax, Soul's That's not too bad. The parallax is pretty clear. Hang on, let's do that again. Parallax, Soul's Terror. Soul's Terror.
And last but not least, Paul's book review.
And as any witnesses in the carriage will confirm, as he left the train with his jogging bottoms round his ankles due to the explosive side effects, it was doubtful he would ever again dare to insult the chef at the Gurkha Grill, order a vindaloo, and set off on a 6-hour rail trek. It really was awful luck the toilets had been deactivated in the station for maintenance. Apologies there to our US of stateside fans and listeners in Canada for the gratuitous use of the word toilets there.
And the winner is the Gauk Hunting OP Kit spoiler. No, wait, wrong card. Let's try that again. The winner is Global Reverse Collation.
And here to accept the award is Andrew England, a.k.a. Mr. Backwards.
Jag är under fast med vi var observation laugh with them yes. Set that after it steps and she Alex have will need to get and it's warming over. Sail me I'm soft. Obviously I get works. Search east. Stay the film.
Yes, congratulations, Andy. An exceptional piece of Q Branch work there. Very popular with the listeners. I don't know if anyone's realised or noticed, but it seems our most popular stuff tends to be entirely non-Dice Masters related. But moving on, the next award is for overall favourite episode. And here to present the award is the online Dice Masters guru himself, Troy, otherwise known as Yort.
Choosing a favorite episode is like choosing your favorite child. But if we're all honest, we actually do have a favorite child, don't we? So we've been able to pick a favorite episode, because if we're still being honest, not all of them are winners. Like that unfortunate April Fool's one that preyed on the innocence of millions of listeners and disappointed them. So, the nominees for most favorite episode are: number 1, Christmas Special 2018.
Yes, that's right. We're going to do Dice Masters Fortunes, and to help us through this Christmas special episode, we have not just one, not just two, not just three, not just four, not just five, but 6 special guests. Woo! Woo! Yeah, there they are. There they are. They are out there.
Number 2, episode 21, Who is the Fake Mr. Six?
Hello and welcome, mates, to episode 21 of the Ministry of Dice podcast. We're a UK-based podcast talking about all things Dice Masters in the United Kingdom. I'm Chris, a.k.a. True Mr. Six.
Number 3, episode 42, The One and Only Billy Shears.
Hello and welcome, folks, to episode 42 of the Ministry of Dice podcast. We're a UK-based podcast talking about all things Dice Masters in the UK. I'm Chris, otherwise known as True Mr. Six, and with me today I have Andy.
A.k.a. Gorgeous George.
Gorgeous George, that you are. That you are.
And number 4, episode 33, Rick Moranis and the Legendary Flowing Locks.
Hello and welcome, folks, to episode 33 of the Ministry of Dice podcast. We're a UK-based podcast talking all things Dice Masters in the United Kingdom. I'm Chris, otherwise known online as Rick Moranis, and with me today I have Andy.
And the winner is the Christmas Special 2018.
And to accept this award, we've got Chris.
Yes, here I am to accept the award, the Christmas special. A very, warm, fuzzy, gooey feeling inside me when I think about the Christmas special. It was, I don't know, just very... I'm being actually sincere and serious for a change. I don't know if people can notice this, but when we asked all our bar entrants to come along and, around Christmas time as well, to sit down and do what was basically a good 2 hours of chunnering rubbish, doing a quiz online, they all said yes. And in fact, everybody bar one who wanted to come but just couldn't because they couldn't get the time off work for the date and time we chose to record, came along and played. And that just makes me feel a big kind of warm Dice Masters community cuddle. It's nice. So thank you very much.
Very nice.
I'm also glad that you folks enjoyed it. Next on the list is the best Ministry of Dice catchphrase. And here to present the award is our friend and fellow UK player, Mark Sloan.
As a proud member of the MoD Wooden Spoon Owners Club, it gives me a very special pleasure to announce the winner of the Best Catchphrase Award. Like all the great celebrity partnerships, Eric and Ernie, Vic and Bob, Dick Dastardly and Muttley, the MoD boys Chris and Andy are not short of a catchphrase or two. In the finest tradition of seaside comedians and the Christmas panto, millions of MoD listeners can be heard the world over regurgitating their favourite hallowed phrases to express their loyalty to the ministry. So without further ado, the nominees for Best Catchphrase are... It's Bobbins.
I was quite impressed with myself.
I was on a Bobbins hunt, and could I find it? Could I bollocks?
But we must say it often enough, though, that someone put it in the survey.
Ham and cheese.
Ham and cheese, ham and cheese.
Toasted, of course.
All good things must come to an end.
All things must come to an end, and this brings us to the end of yet another episode of the Ministry of Dice podcast. We hope you've enjoyed listening as much as we've enjoyed recording it.
Little known fact for the listeners.
Little known fact for the listeners, actually, they may or may not be aware, but Andy was actually part of the production and design team who worked on the Tinder app. He built it mostly around his own personal experiences as a young teenager and some of the sad stories of love and disappointment that he experienced there.
How you find all these things out about me, I would never know.
And the winner is... Little known fact for the listeners.
And to accept this award again, we have Chris.
Yes, thank you for this award. I don't really know what to say. It's nice to have acknowledgement for the fact that my head is just full of just complete random shit. There's a bleep for you, Andy. You're editing this one.
Crikey, I've got enough editing as it is.
I know, yeah, but that's my revenge because you did this to me a couple of episodes back. But a little known fact for the listeners, actually, while we're talking about award ceremonies, do you know that Walt Disney has won the most Oscars than anyone else? He's been nominated for 64 awards in total, and he took away 26 of those during his lifetime. The second most nominated person, and this one's pretty cool, is the composer John Williams himself.
There you go.
Yeah, 47 Academy Award nominations in total. Yeah, and we all know that John Williams is the man. Yes, folks, thank you very much for coming along. Our appreciation to those who voted on the survey that we put out to help us form the answers to those. We hope you enjoyed the little clips, the little snippets, and hopefully
nostalgia.
They brought back fond memories of listening to us on your commute to work or on the train, on the bus, however you listen to us.
In the bath.
Yeah. In fact, while shaving, we've had that. Yeah. Just thank you for being with us for this last 2 years, and we hope to enjoy your company for another year yet.
Or two.
Indeed, yeah. Yes, welcome back, listeners. The 2-year anniversary special celebration episode continues, and this time, rather than talking about the gifts that you've given to us, we've got a very special gift for you. We have Wizkid's Honker burning love himself, Jimmy Darwin O'Brien, joining us today. Hello, Jimmy.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going very well.
Really flattered by the celebrity treatment I received from you guys.
Well, you are a celebrity. I told you this last time, I think. Although I don't know whether it made it onto the episode, but we certainly talked about it when we chatted last time you came to visit us. That to us, you're this kind of mythical guy who does fan appreciation events, who's the gatekeeper to the spoilers. You know?
That's exactly it. Like, other people make the good stuff, and I just get to reveal it. So it's. You know, the backstage crew doesn't always get the credit they deserve, but I'm happy to be part of the process.
The public face.
Yeah, here and there.
Yeah. So I referred to you as the Honka Burning Love from Wizkids because the reason you've joined us today is to talk a little bit about the upcoming Worlds events.
Yeah, so Worlds being at Graceland is really exciting. It's very different. And it's led to a number of questions from people just because they're not used to going there. It's not like Gen Con or Origins where they kind of already are used to that because maybe they attended it before they played Dice Masters.
Yeah.
Or, those organizations just have a robust infrastructure for communicating the event details, whereas we just primarily put out the product, and running an event like this is kind of new for us.
Yeah, so I was going to ask about that because, as you mentioned, traditionally competitive events of that nature take place, as you say, at gaming conventions. We have ours at the UK Games Expo quite often here in the UK.
Exactly, yeah.
So what's kind of driven that decision to have an independent Wizkids event?
So we have the opportunity, and I think it's a nice experience for the fans that they get to go to this tourist destination as part of the World's experience, and also it's just a good relationship for us with Graceland. And there's no badge fee, which is nice. Like, I'm sure you guys have to pay to get into UK Games Expo.
Yes, yeah.
You have to pay to get in something else, and so the fact that we get to kind of experiment with that people aren't paying $50-$60 for the weekend, they can walk on in, they can pay for parking or whatever they're going to be doing there. Just simplifies things in a lot of ways, which is cool.
Yeah, I think I just keeping an eye on some of the chat around the social medias. I think that's certainly one of the more popular elements because you're right. It's an expensive affair competing, even in a game like Dice Masters. And so, yeah, I think that's a nice little bit of added value. But of course, the tourist destination element, the Elvis connection, that's super fun. Are you an Elvis fan yourself, Jimmy?
Yeah, I am an Elvis fan. So Joel, who owns Wizkids, has said there's two kinds of people who are Elvis fans and people who don't know that they're Elvis fans yet. And it's like the exposure to Elvis and Graceland kind of, even if you're just someone who can listen and enjoy the music, it's tough to realize the kind of widespread impact that Elvis has had. There was an Elvis album that came out in 2018. They took his gospel recordings and they put it with new background vocals, and they did a duet with Lisa Marie. Graceland is the number 2 most visited residence in the United States, the number 1 being the White House. So it's just kind of you can't overstate the impact, and it's just really wild.
Yeah, you really can't. A little known fact for you folks, my parents, only 2 weeks ago, came back from a tour of the US, and Graceland was on one of their stops.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope they enjoyed it.
I believe that they did, yeah, I believe that they did. Although I think my dad was more interested in, is there a motorcycle exhibition and Elvis's Cadillacs?
Yeah, so there's the Cadillacs, there's the airplanes, there's probably motorcycles also.
Yeah.
I haven't been there yet, so my first trip there is going to be the weekend of Worlds.
Oh, very good, yes. See, I'm a big Beatles fan. I think everybody knows that. And John Lennon, he was a huge Elvis fan from Elvis, certainly Elvis's 50s output. Yeah. I always got a kind of, I don't know if you saw my note in the message, I always got a kind of sort of a Styx REO Speedwagon kind of hair rock sort of vibe from you, Jimmy.
Yeah, so I am a big Styx fan.
I knew it.
So yeah, no, I love Styx music. Like, it's one of those things that growing up, I'd heard different songs that I would come to find out were theirs, and it's oh yeah, I would listen to these songs enough to know the words, but didn't realize it was all the same people.
I thought it was because of the hair.
Oh yeah, no, it's just the hair is just its own thing.
You don't need to talk to me about that, brother. But no Elvis, no sticks. You can track that all the way back, can't you, through the ages. Brilliant. Okay, we're in random tangent land. Let's bring it back to Dice Masters. So one thing that stood out to a lot of people and certainly leapt out the page at me was the formats that you guys have chosen to put on. Global Escalation, Modern, both, and 10 in 10. You've knocked those around a little bit, but one format in particular has got everybody a-chattering, and that's the preview draft. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that, Jimmy?
So it's kind of no surprise to people that we are reusing the old dice tooling in new colors for the upcoming sets.
Wait,
and
what?
But then it's been part of it, right? And so it kind of creates an opportunity for us here, which is we can do some prototype cards of things that are going to use the old dice. We have the old dice that we can supply, and we can let players draft in this experience that is not going to exist in quite the same way in the future. And so it's going to be the plan right now, and it's kind of like subject to change and what makes it through the process on time and everything like that. But the hope is that it's going to be a mixture of cards from the Spider-Man box set and team pack, and then some of the Avengers draft cards. And so we're going to mix them together in some hopefully smart way and give some people some dice to work with. And we're going to have one draft pod on Saturday and one draft pod on Sunday. And so people are going to get prototype editions of these cards that that version of the card is not going to end up existing in the boosters because it's going to have the old die colors with the new art and effects. And so just something neat and different and early and fun.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I'm green with envy, yeah. But so though these cards won't go on to be modern legal then?
No, because
they're a collector's piece.
Sense. They're a collector's piece. They're an experience. It's better than a Dice Masters postcard to go home with, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I still think it's super fun. And even though they may not be modern legal in a competitive sense, these folks can take them back to their local gaming groups.
Yeah. And if you want to play for fun with the cards to get ready for the new sets, they're a great little tool, which I'm sure plenty of people are going to be doing.
Yes, I fully anticipate some photographs leaking out and hitting the net.
Oh yeah, no, I think people are going to be really excited for their polls and to see some of the spicy cards coming out.
Okay, I'm loving that. I'm loving it. It's got a real nice flavour to it, and and I suppose from your perspective, it's a good opportunity to kind of take a look and see how these cards play for realsies.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to have everything to the printer before then. So it's not like this is a public play test session really.
Sure.
If something was like totally out of control, we might try and do some kind of like premature ban or something, but I don't forecast that being the case with the mix of cards we have.
Sure. So the driving intent is fully, let's just give the fans something really fun, really new, really exciting to engage with. Let them get their hands on the new stuff before anyone else. Give it a bit of lift, bit of jazz.
Yeah, exactly. Like this event should be really special, and this is something we were able to do, so we're doing it.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, love it. Speaking of formats, the other format that leapt out at me was which I thought was an interesting choice, was the pauper format.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, just making sure everyone's understanding of this is the same. We down at my local, we play pauper format as commons and starters cards only. Is my understanding correct there?
I have to double check with the rules team, but I think that the plan is for it to be commons and basic action cards only. So like the campaign box cards might not be part of the mix because that's just kind of wonky that like, the Clayface with the global would probably have been a rare had we put it into a regular set. So to include him into a pauper format doesn't really make sense. So I believe that is the intent, and the rules form is going to get updated hopefully by the time this airs with that information.
Great, yeah, okay, brill. So it's going to be golden. It's going to be getting into those classic common cards from days of yore.
I think that might be the case. It might just be modern. So rotation hasn't done any kind of rotation to get rid of the last few sets that had commons. So it might actually be just a really limited pool of regular cards with a very large pool of basic action cards to go with it. So that might be how it ends up working out. It was just more important to get information out that, hey, this is the kind of thing happening at Graceland, and kind of nailing down the last few bits as we can.
Yeah, sure. And equally, just talking about getting rules team updates out there, there's a note mentioning that the global escalation format is now including the latest Worlds and Nationals teams on the list. Did I see that? Yeah.
And that's correct. So I received a question today. Canadian Nationals just happened. Why is that not getting updated as part of the global escalation list? Other countries' nationals have not had the same population as the U.S., and so to try and pick and choose which countries make it versus which ones don't, or setting like a player cap or something like that, is just overly complex. And so it was just easier for us to pick, okay, well, U.S. Nationals is a very large event. We'll use that as the baseline for what gets added to global escalation from that timeline of nationals, and then Worlds is its own thing, and those are just the two events.
Yeah. Okay. Challenge accepted, though. I'm going to be recruiting like a maniac for UK nationals now, in an attempt to better the number.
I'll figure out something real special for you guys if you can get over 30 people.
Oh wow, you heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first. A date would be nice, Jimmy. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
I'd love to defer to Kenny on that one.
Oh, I've been messaging today. Don't you worry. I've set my sights on.
Oh yeah, poor Kenny. So we announced everything like Thursday night and Friday morning, and Kenny was really sick over the weekend. It's what a weekend to not be feeling your best when everyone's like messaging you all these questions about everything.
I'm sure he's blocked Chris.
I think he possibly has blocked me, actually. Yeah. And who'd blame him? I am tenaciously annoying. Everybody on this call knows that, and I think a number of the listeners are very well aware of that. I'm like a dog with a bit in my teeth. But anyway, yeah, okay. Well, you heard it here first, folks. If we get over Thursday, we'll get in touch with Jimmy.
Thursday.
30. Sorry, it's because Jimmy just said Thursday about making announcements on Thursdays and Fridays. That's
so bring your mums, bring your dads, your kids.
Yeah, everybody, just shove a team list in their hands, and then Andy will make them all cry by defeating them ruthlessly.
This 75-year-old mum sat at a table opposite Ben. I'm sure she would love that.
If you get a double-decker bus worth of Dice Masters players going.
Yeah, so there's a whole thing about in Manchester about getting the coach from your local pub and going to Blackpool for the weekend. This probably don't mean anything to you, Jimmy, but are you aware of this, Andy?
We have similar, but it's to Western Supermare or Margate.
Yeah, sure.
Seaside locations, beach locations, yeah.
So your local down the road, Jimmy, your local pub that like all the you off the back in days when pub were on end of street and everybody went in for a pint after work. You'd have these kind of Saturday morning 6 a.m. coach pulls up, 30-40 people ruck on with a load of. If I say tinny, do you know what I mean by tinny?
No, I don't know what that is.
Tinny's like a lager in a can, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you get your 24-pack of tinnies, and your whiskey. You load up on. It's called a charabanc, and then you go to the nearest seaside resort, which in the UK is basically tuppenny machines and.
What a tuppenny machine? I don't know what that is.
The 2 penny, with the shufflers.
What?
Tuppenny machines with the 2p's, and you drop them in, and the shufflers.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get back on track. On track. Yeah. But we'll get a charabanc on for the UK Nationals. That's what I'm saying. That's Magical Mystery Tour was based on charabancs.
Isn't there in the Italian job? Isn't there a?
Yeah.
Bus.
Oh, it's like a few weeks ago. I said I need to rewatch the Italian Job because I like heist movies, and like why am I not rewatching that?
The Michael Caine one?
Yeah.
That's the only one, isn't it?
Well, for sure.
Look, the remake don't count.
I'm just double checking. Yeah, that's it's those coaches like that and just loading on a coach. Anyway, Worlds. Lasso this back on track. Well, one thing we're particularly interested in, Jimmy, actually, just looking at my notes, I actually made notes for this conversation, is, obviously getting over to Memphis for a number of us internationally, Dice Masters fans internationally, is a bit of a challenge. Will arrangements be made to stream the games? It's something that we're always very keen to see.
So we're working on it. The exhibition center at Graceland is actually pretty new. And so they're trying to figure out if everything works as they expect and what the Wi-Fi situation means for the demands of streaming. And then, with everybody being on their cell phones, is that going to factor in? If when we do our sales, we have to do that over Wi-Fi. How does that factor in? And so while on the baseline, it seems like we should be good to stream, making it good quality, I just got to cross my fingers, and so it's tough to overpromise.
Okay, sure, but it's certainly something that's on your radar. It's
on our radar. We've contacted people to come out and be the ones actually doing the streaming, so there should be recorded games if there's not a live stream at least.
Okay, brilliant.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's really exciting.
I didn't get to watch anything, but I saw there was a Canadian Nationals live stream this weekend.
There
people
was
were saying good things about it, so I'm going to have to go catch up on that news.
Yeah, Shahin did a tremendous job, actually, the stream, with the way he set it all up and everything, so you might want to tap him up for a bit of advice. Just to get your company to get in touch.
Hints, right?
Yeah. I'm always, seize every opportunity, regret nothing. The prizing is super prestigious as well this time around, Jimmy, isn't it? The thing that particularly stood out to me was the X-Men animated series themed promo cards. I used to love that as a kid.
Yeah, no, so that's super exciting that we have that opportunity. Every time we get to go and do something a little bit new and different, it's always exciting. When you kind of consider that Marvel's out there doing their thing with the movies, everything else is not as important by comparison. So when we get to do something different and special, that's always a super good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I did see someone chatting about, I think it was on the Discord group, was in order to accrue the full set of the X-Men promos, do you need to enter several events and kind of pick up a different one at each? At the side
so
event?
You're going to need to do some side events. You're going to need to participate in World Championships, and then I think you might need to make the top 8 of Worlds. I'm not sure that we have a final agreement on that. So
okay.
Some of the promos are going to be pretty tough to come by.
Sure. As well, they should be. They should be prestigious.
Yeah.
I just noticed someone asking that the other day. And then one thing I did want to ask about actually, just while we're talking about new cards, you've got another fan appreciation event booked in.
We do.
Can we expect to see much Dice Masters there?
I was a little cryptic on some details with sets last time, and I hope to have exciting things to show off at that point. When it comes to the scope of what we're showing off, this is probably going to have just as much a focus on HeroClix as Origins did. There might be relatively more Dice Masters, and then relatively more Star Trek Attack Wing. Not as much board games and miniature stuff because there's not really an event for those people at Graceland.
Mm-hmm.
And so, unlike Origins, where even though we're not necessarily running events for the board games, that crowd is in attendance anyway. So maybe they come by and we want to make sure we have something to show them.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. I love a good fan appreciation event. Those juicy spoilers. It's a blogger's dream.
No, it's a really good event. And I think we show spoilers at a lot of different events. I think the fan appreciation at Origins and now Worlds is just the two best spoiler drops of the year.
Yeah, absolutely they are. I stayed up. Oh, I think you knew that actually. Someone
I know. I knew that. I was really impressed.
That's because I basically have no life outside of Dice Masters and the blog I write about it, Jimmy. That's it's actually tragic when you pause and think about it. Middle-aged man sat up at 3 a.m.
There's
watching
sessions out there,
refreshing
right?
Facebook, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Oh dear, but yeah, I did. Well, I'm glad you were impressed. At least somebody was. Just you mentioned HeroClix before. The taking care of business package is it has HeroClix gifts listed. Is there a Dice Masters alternative for the Dice Masters players?
So there's not. There's kind of just no. Like when you think about the value of those HeroClix promos in the secondary market, it's not like you have that kind of thing that makes sense as a substitute for Dice Masters. And we're expecting kind of just a different proportion of players. So to kind of make a package for the hundreds of HeroClix players that are going to attend versus to make a package for the, I'm going to say 50-ish we're hoping for Dice Masters players. And even if we came up to like 100 Dice Masters players, it's still going to pale in comparison to the HeroClix turnout. So it's not great to make the two different things. So we are able to do a substitution on the tournament entry that you can trade. You can sub out the HeroClix Battle Royale event for a Dice Masters side event. But the promos, they're kind of just yours to trade away or something else with, up to you guys.
Sure.
If you're interested in the tour at all, the tour by itself would be more expensive than the package. So like it's kind of a snap deal if you have any interest in Graceland, which we hope everybody does. And one of the questions I actually got earlier in the week was like, well, if I'm coming to play Dice Masters as much as I can all weekend, what am I supposed to have at the time to go on the tour? And my answer to that is kind of, well, if you're planning on starting playing at 9:30 or 10 in the morning on Friday, you're probably getting there on Thursday. We don't have any events then. Go on the tour then.
Yeah. Take advantage of it. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, very good. Very good. I think a lot of people will be there just for the hardcore Dice Masters ring, though.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely anticipate that.
Yeah, very.
It's a good idea, though. It's a good way to get rid of the family, isn't it? Take the family, go on the tour, have fun, see you in 3 days. Job's a good one.
I'm just going to take this dice.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I'm trotting off with my dice bag and Matt over this way. See you later.
That's a smart workaround for sure.
Yeah, and he's always thinking that, Andy, strategic guy.
Have the next one like up the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, so just worldwide tourist destinations from here on in, Jimmy. Yeah. That's what it's going to have to be in order that people can farm off the wife and kids or husband and kids onto other things.
Yeah, I mean, like if we just have the pick of the litter on tourist destinations, it's going to be tough to narrow down for next year, but we'll have to figure it out.
Where would you choose if you could choose anywhere?
Oh, I mean, I would selfishly just pick someplace I haven't been yet, and so that's not a good way to do it. Because like it's probably really inconvenient to like send everyone to Japan or something.
Yeah, sure.
Especially because we don't print the game in that language. So like, what a terrible decision.
Yeah, Caribbean island.
Yeah, right. So I've been to London before, and I think that would be super exciting to be able to kind of move everybody over there. But I don't know that we necessarily have like the infrastructure for the volunteers to all end up over on a different continent and stuff like that. So I'm actually just hoping that Graceland is better than everybody expects, and maybe we go back next year.
Yeah, because of course you got that connection. As you say, opportunity to leverage. Yeah, very good. Well, that was all the questions that I had pre-prepared. Andy, have you got anything you want to throw in there at the end?
No, just very, very jealous.
Yeah.
If you do need a couple of commentators, maybe not this year, maybe next year, let us know.
We'll keep you guys on the list, but really tough to make promises,
we're cheap,
Yeah, we don't cost a great deal.
4 or 5 figure.
Possibly more appropriate to bring us out for the release of Historical Dice Masters.
How is that going?
Still, the History Channel is still not returning my calls, so gonna have to make some of my own history, so they have to call me.
Okay, fair play. You can't argue with that logic at all.
What we haven't said is the date. When is Worlds happening? What is the date of the WizKids weekend?
Oh, the date is going to be September 6, 7, and 8, I believe. I'm popping open the calendar to look at it and confirm. Yeah, September 6th, 7th, and 8th are the 3 days of the event.
Awesome stuff. 3 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going to be excellent, man. Excellent.
Well,
Jimmy,
awesome for Dice Masters fans.
yeah. Will we see that the Elvis promo card? That could be the first of the musical legends historical Dice Masters pack.
I would not bank on it, but we never say never. So cross your fingers, guys.
Yeah, okay, I'll keep the fingers crossed. Well, Jimmy, is there anything else you want to tell the listeners about Worlds that have maybe not been covered by my questions at this point?
Just we're looking forward to seeing everybody who can show up, and if you can't make it, encourage your locals to come out and kick some butt.
Yeah, very good.
Need to knock Arj off his top spot, don't we?
Indeed we do. Twice in a row, that lad.
Okay, he's not showing any signs of slowing down, so
he's not played Andy yet.
That is true. Yeah.
At which point he'll still show no signs of slowing down.
My bad playing is infectious.
Andy's best days are behind him, Jimmy. It was a one and done with this lad.
I was a national champion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One and done.
He could do a repeat this year. We don't know yet.
Watch this space. The Phoenix will rise.
Yeah, see? Confidence.
All right, well, no comment. I'm just saying I play the guy every week. Just saying.
I've taught him everything he knows.
Yeah. That's
a dice been dropped.
It is. I'm fiddling while we're on the call. I'm halfway through building a team. I've got a modern night on at the local tomorrow.
Oh.
What are you playing?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of why there's dice everywhere. It's gone a bit chaotic. I might even just end up falling. We're doing an exclusion league. It's the first week of the exclusion league, so whatever wins tomorrow gets banned for the next couple of weeks.
You should just play whatever you don't want to play against in case you win.
Well, that was something that kind of crossed my mind. However, the team and the quality of the player is where the disconnect happens there, because I could play the best team in the world and still come last. So,
That's because you don't realise there's an attack
play
step.
often enough, you're going to hit some pretty bad floors,
The thing with Chris is Chris doesn't play the attack step. He's missed that page out of the rulebook. So he does his main step. He goes, direct damage, ping, ping, ping. Over to you. And he doesn't get it. It doesn't get that you should attack with the dice and do combat damage.
I don't need to attack with the dice and do combat damage. I've usually killed you by turn 4, turn 5 with the ping.
No, attacking is often a disadvantage. Like, it's actually one of the best nuances in the game, right? That, I got to hit you with the guy, and now that guy's gone for a bit. So, I get it.
Yeah. See, Andy? See?
Doesn't need to come back around when I do your 20.
Yeah, that's true. That's the problem.
If you do me 20, yeah.
If you've saved 10 masks back and then
I'd save 10 masks back. You don't need to just roll a thrown brick, hit you for 7, spend the rest on static field in your back, bro.
Anyway,
poor Jimmy in the middle of our
a quarrel.
In the middle of our long-standing dispute. I'm a wombo combo.
I really want people to feel bad for me. You could just edit it and add another 40 minutes of disagreement in between me saying anything.
Yeah, and then just drop you in at the end. Okay, well, thanks, guys. It's so tempting to do that, but we're not. We
just have your intro at the start, and then cut it to us having a big argument, and then miss everything else out.
Got a lot of flexibility in post.
We certainly do. So, Jimmy, what about having us out as commentators? Yes, guys, absolutely. Your flight tickets will be waiting for. And he's pretty good at putting a soundboard together,
Yeah, my Tony Wheatland soundboard.
Yeah, for sure. All right, then. Well, we'll wrap up. We're rambling off. We're in the weeds. Thank you, Jimmy, for coming along.
Hey, anytime, guys. You have a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll not take up any more of your evening, folks. So if they've got questions about Worlds as it gets closer and closer, where should they direct those questions, Jimmy?
They should send those questions to the Wizkids Facebook page because they will end up at the person who is most likely to know the answer that way.
Sure. So if it's rules related, it'll get to rules team. If it's
if it's scheduling related, it'll go to the right people and so on.
Yeah, very good, excellent. Okay, well, thanks, my man, and folks, I hope you enjoyed our little anniversary treat brought along by Jimmy there. Yes, welcome back, boys and girls. Wasn't that exciting? Didn't you think that was exciting, Andy, just then?
Oh, it was very exciting.
Yeah, I couldn't contain myself. So, we're in joke. So we're moving on to this next segment on our 2-year anniversary extravaganza, because we like the word extravaganza. What's another word we could use for it, actually?
Ooh, put me on the spot.
Celebration. Hootenanny.
Hootenanny.
The 2-year anniversary hootenanny.
It's our birthday.
Yeah. Carrying on. Well, this is a Q branch segment. Andy's been away over there, tinkering away in his Q branch. Once again, I have no idea what I'm about to face, but it involves equipment. I've been asked to get some stuff together and ready. So I'm going to hand over and let the Andy England, a.k.a. Make Chris Do Random Things, take over.
Yeah, well, I won't be asking you to do anything too random today. As Chris said, it is our birthday, and with birthdays come birthday presents, and we've got a little birthday present for you.
For me?
I have indeed.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
Well, I do try indeed. So what I would like you to do is, if you go onto our very secret Google Drive, and hopefully you'll see the work in progress episode folder for episode 51.
Yes, I can see that.
And go into that, and you'll see
I've got intthink.
I had to make a secret word for it, so you didn't get what it was.
So that if I saw it prior to this, okay,
just in case you saw it randomly.
Yeah, it's in there. Intthink 2.
So this is something I've been working on for a little while, couple of months.
Right.
So without any further ado,
I haven't got you.
I'll ask you to press play, and I will pass you over to Andy.
Right, so I've got to hit play on this now. I have to take my headset off to put my headphones in.
Okay, cool.
All right. It's loading. The blue bar's going across the screen.
Oh. Thanks, Andy. You're a legend. Hi, Chris. Happy birthday. For a little birthday present just for you, I've got together with a few friends of the show to make something a little bit special. So sit back, relax, enjoy the birthday party, because tonight I'm gonna have myself a real good time. I feel alive, and the world is turning inside out. Yeah, I'm floating around.
Beautiful.
In ecstasy, so don't stop me now. Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, James and Zach.
Shooting star leaping through the sky like a tiger,
defying the laws of gravity.
I'm a racing car passing by like Lady Godiva.
I'm gonna go, go, go. There's no stopping me.
It's
burning through the dice, yeah. 200 more rolls, that's why they call me Mr. Shriek. Because I'm traveling at the speed of geek. I wanna make a dice chucking man out of you.
It's dear my mother himself, Stephen Cookers.
Now I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just give me a call.
Jono.
Don't stop me, 'cause I'm having a good time.
Jono.
Don't stop me. Yes, I'm having a good time. I don't wanna stop at all.
The one, the only, Isaac Veer.
Yeah, I'm a rocket ship on my way to Mars on a collision course. I am a satellite.
I'm out of control.
I am a sex machine ready to reload. Like an atom bomb about to explode.
Burning through the sky, yeah. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light.
Yes.
I wanna make a supersonic woman of you.
Our main man, Stuart.
Don't stop me. Don't stop me. Don't stop me. Hey, hey.
Yeah.
Don't stop me. Don't stop me.
Give up a Ben Scott.
I like it.
Don't stop me, have a good time, don't stop me, oh.
Arjun Lucan from Rolling Thunder.
Yeah.
Burning through the sky. 200 degrees, that's why they call me Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm traveling at the speed of light. I want to make a supersonic man out of you.
Champion, Andy Spug.
Don't stop me now, I'm having such a good time. I'm having
The figurehead of Scottish Dice Masters, TJ.
Stop me now if you want to have a good time.
Double track.
Cannonball.
Everybody for the big finish.
Don't stop me
Oh. Is that still going at the end?
What do you think of that?
That was amazing. Hang on, let me take the headphones out. So have you just sat there in silence while I've listened to that?
Yeah, I couldn't get mine to sink in, so I was just listening to your reaction. However, the magic of podcasting, hopefully that would have all been edited around so everyone would be able to hear that.
Yeah, so we've recorded my reaction there as well. Oh dear. Well, thank you, Andrew, and thank you very much, everybody else. I'm genuinely surprised. I had no idea that was coming.
Yeah, I'm shocked that I kept that quiet, and everyone else managed to as well.
Not a dicky bird from anybody.
So I would like to say thank you to everyone who got involved, and everyone was very, very supportive and was well up for it, which was a shock. And it's to another couple of years.
Yeah. Cheers, folks. So give me the total list then of everyone who was in.
Okay, well, we have got, let me see if I can remember. So we've got James and Zach from James and Zach Play Dice Masters. Yep. We've got Tony Weekland from Detroit.
Who's that?
And the Shark Tank. You then have DM Armada himself, Stephen Cookus, followed by the main man of DM North, Jordo. Going on from there, you then have Isaac from Gaming with Sidekicks, Michaela Kuba from the Dice Coalition. That went into a brilliant rendition of Don't Stop Me Now by Joe Vega from Chris and Rob's Game Room. From there, we have Stu Dixon from Stu Art, and Ben Said Scott, our Canadian and former UK super champion. From there, we have Rolling Thunder, Arjun Lucan, Central European champion himself, Andy Spug, the figurehead of Scottish Dice Masters, TJ, and then the whole crew at the end.
Tremendous work. I am genuinely, it's not often I'm struggle for words, but I don't know what to say. I'm touched.
There we go.
There
On
we
to
go.
the next segment.
You've managed to stun me to silence.
Achievement unlocked.
That was brilliant. Are you set for the outro then?
Okay.
Okay, here we go. 5 seconds of silence.
All good things must come to an end.
Another episode of the Ministry of Dice. I hope you've enjoyed
listening as much as we've enjoyed
recording it. I've been Andy, aka True Mr. Six, and with me today has been
Chris, aka the Manchester Cuddly Bear.
Do you like that?
No, I didn't like that. You pissed me off.
Oh, I couldn't give it AKA, so I thought I'd just bash my get in there first and you can go on.
I mean, Manchester Cuddly Bear, what
is that?
What was that all about? All the things I could have said in that moment. Do you know, I'll explain why. I am literally looking at one of my little girl's cuddly bears. It's got a little balloon, silver, with pink writing. It says thank you, and it's one of those little kind of, like you get in Clintons.
That's nice. But,
and I think that's where it could have gone. Although their music box is on the floor, I suppose it's better than saying Chris, a.k.a. Tambourine.
Could be. Although that's now my new text alert for when you text me.
The Manchester Cuddly Bear. I mean, honestly, what a way to end. After all the hard work we put into this episode, that's the bit that's going to stick.
And it just. Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed our birthday special and all of the Dice Masters content we've had for today's episode.
yeah, it's been meta changing.
It's really informative. It's like the in-depth, nitty-gritty. We hope that both experienced players and people new to the game will be able to enjoy this and learn something from it.
Yeah. All right. Let's wrap it up there. Come back in 2 weeks, folks, for the Canadian Nationals. Oh, that stuff from Jimmy was pretty good, though.
Yeah, it's really good.
That was nice to get a little bit of that behind-the-scenes insight into like what was going on with Worlds and what they were thinking and the formats and stuff.
Nearly as good as Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah, I mean, that was amazing. It's very rare, as I said, when you played it to me, it's very rare that I am lost for words, but that actually stunned me to the spot. Cool.
I proper put you off, haven't I?
Yeah. I don't know how to. I can't wrap the thing up. You've completely discombobulated me.
You're welcome.
Like to say you're welcome. That one comes up a lot, as well as Let It Go. You're a very Disney guy, aren't you?
That one just comes up in real life as well. Do you know, if you open a door for someone and they don't say thank you, I always go, "You're welcome." Or if you let someone, let cargo pass, they don't do the little obligatory wave or flash the lights. You're welcome. I must say it about 12 times a day. Well, it's because all Southerners are rude, so I get to say it a lot.
Yeah, sure. That was possibly that will be a nominee for the best little known fact next year. I'm certain of it.
You're welcome.
We'll see you in 2 weeks, boys and girls.
Bye-bye. Who is John Williams?
What, are you serious?
Yeah.
Have you really just... This is staying in the podcast. Please leave this in. Have you genuinely just asked me who is John Williams?
Is he like a relative?
Well, interestingly enough, my brother is actually called John Williams. But
so you're talking about your brother?
Yeah, but he's not the John Williams. My brother is Jonathan Williams, and this is John Williams with a H. John Williams is the composer who wrote the Star Wars music. He orchestrated the Star Wars soundtrack, Jurassic Park, E.T., Harry Potter, Indiana Jones, Superman. The guy's an absolute legend. You don't know who John Williams is?
No. I always preferred Alan Silvestri.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Great choice.
Damn it! I thought you weren't going to know who he was!
Did you genuinely think I wasn't going to know who Alan Silvestri was?
But I suppose if you knew who John Williams was...
Yeah.
But then I can cut all this out anyway, so there we hit the light of day.
Alan Silvestri, I think doesn't he do the Marvel stuff now?
He's done Avengers, Back to the Future.
Yeah, sure. Well, Back to the Future is what I know him for
Loads of
specifically.
stuff.
He's done lots of most of Robert Zemeckis' stuff.
Always crops up.
Yeah.
He must be minted. He's done loads of big films, like even littler films, like he did the A-Team film, the reboot.
Well, I didn't know that. I know him from Back to the Future. That's where.
I know that from researching Rip Thunderstone's acceptance speech that I found out earlier today.
Right, is that the lot done?
We need to just